and if you like this video, please don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do it so that you don't miss any of my videos. So without any delay, let's get started. And today we are gonna learn about the concept of inheritance and polymorphism in C sharp. So today we are gonna learn these two concepts. So without any delay, let's get started. Damn! So in C sharp, it is possible to inherit fields and methods from one class to another. We group the inheritance concept into two categories, derived class and the base class. The derived class is the child class that is inheriting all the properties from a parent class, also called the base class, right? So a base class supplies all its properties to a derived class, and a derived class takes all the properties from base class, right? So derived class is the class that inherits from another class, and the base class is the class being inherited from, right? So we are gonna we basically inherit from another class using the colon symbol. So using the colon symbol, we inherit from another class, right? So what we are doing, we are using system. We have a class vehicle over here in which we are creating a public string brand, right? Its value is Ford, and then we are saying that we are creating a honk method, right? And in this, what we are doing, we are writing toot toot, right? So we are making a car sound in this. Next, we are creating a class car that is inheriting from the vehicle class using the colon symbol. So now all the properties and methods of the vehicle class are come into our car class, right? And then in here we also create our own variable public string model name Mustang, right? So we are creating a public variable model name and its value is Mustang, right? So over here what is happening, what is the use of this, right? The concept you must have understood, but what is the use over here? What is happening, we want all these properties and methods in this class car also, right? And if we wanted it in another class like a bike, and we wanted these properties and methods in like a truck class also, then instead of writing again and again the same things, we can create a parent class and inherit all the other car, bike and truck classes from the parent class. So then it will have all the like these are the common properties that should be in all the bus, truck and bike. So we can create a common vehicle class and then inherit bike, bus and truck from this vehicle class, instead of writing the same things again and again but in all the classes. This is basically used for code reusability over here. Then in the car class, bike class and truck class, we can also create our own properties specific to what class we are making. So we can have some default properties and methods in the vehicle class that are standard for all the vehicles. We can inherit from the vehicle class from in every car. We can inherit from the vehicle class in the car class. We can inherit from the vehicle class. We can inherit the bike and the truck class from the vehicle class. So all the properties and methods will come, and we can create bike specific, car specific and truck specific properties and methods in the, in them also, right? So we are getting all the properties and methods from another class, and we are creating our own properties and methods too. So this is code reusability. Instead of writing again and again, we are just writing it once and using it everywhere else. Next we have a class program, right? So we have a program class, right? And in this we have a main method, right? Over here we are creating an object of a car class, right? And then we are on its object we are calling the honk method, though because the honk method is now inherited, like it has come into the car class also, right? We can use it from the car class also, as we inherited from the vehicle class which had the honk method. So we call the honk method over here, and it will show us toot toot. And then we are writing my car.brand, its brand value. So that was also over here, right? That is Ford, so it will write Ford, and then we are giving a space, and then we are writing the model name that we defined in the car class itself, that is Mustang, so it will show Ford Mustang. So it will show toot toot, and then it will show Ford and Mustang. So it is just taking a while to run. That's okay. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So you see toot toot, and then we can say see Ford and Mustang. Now let's comment out this code and move on to the other code. Why and when to use inheritance? Why and when should you use inheritance? I have already told you that, but let's read this also. It is useful for code reusability. Reuse fields and methods of an existing class when you create a new class. Right? I told you the same thing. Next, we can also have a sealed. We also have a sealed keyword, and if you put a sealed keyword before any class, it cannot be inherited from. So for example, I put the sealed keyword in front of the vehicle class. Now I cannot inherit the properties and methods of vehicle class from any other class. So from any other class, no other class can inherit from our vehicle class, right? So when we give sealed, no other class can inherit from the class to which we give sealed, right? So we give sealed to the vehicle class, so no other class can inherit from the vehicle class. Now I try to inherit from the vehicle class. It is REPL is itself showing there is an error in this line, right? So if I run this, we'll have an error, an expected error, as we cannot inherit from a sealed class. Okay, so you see we have an error. It is saying car cannot derive from sealed type vehicle. So it is clearly saying that we cannot derive from a sealed class. Next, let's look at the concept of polymorphism. Like in polymorphism, think of a base class called animal. So we saw base class. If you don't remember, I'll show you once again. Base class is the class being inherited from, so the parent class. So think of a base class called animal that has a method called animal sound. Derived classes of animals could be pigs, cats, dogs, birds, or a lot more. And they also have their own implementation of an animal sound, like the pig oinks and the cat meows, etc. So in polymorphism, what we have a base class, right, that in which we have a certain method or a method of field, right? So we have an animal sound method over here, and in other classes like a pig class, a dog class, that animal sound can change, right? The animal sound can be like wee wee for the pig, and the dog class can be wow wow, right? So over here in polymorphism, what we do, we override the method of our parent class, right? So we basically override the method that is there in the parent class, right? So let's see it with an example. Over here you have a class animal, and we have our animal sound method in which we are writing the animal makes a sound. Then we are creating a pig class that is inheriting from animal, and then we are overwriting the animal sound method, right, and saying the pig says wee wee, because that is much more relevant for the pig. Instead of writing the animal makes a sound for the pig, it is much more relevant to say for the pig that the pig says wee wee, right? So for example, this animal class has a lot of things in common. Like animals have one thing in common. So animals have one thing. What one thing do they have in common? um okay, so animals, let's just for example take animals have a nose in common, right? So let's just take they all have the same nose, though they don't, but let's just like take it for an example. So they let's take that animals have the same nose, right, but they have a different sound. So we can create because we know that in every animal we have the same nose, we can create a nose variable over here specifying what type of nose it is, like long or short. just for an example. But every animal does not have the same sound. So when we inherit, we will use the nose property, right? That will be same for all the animals. But when we inherit, the animal sound is not same, so we can override that, right? We can override that method and make whatever sound we the animal makes, right? So in the pig class, we are overriding the animal sound method and saying the pig says wee wee. In the dog class, we are overriding the animal sound method and saying the dog says bow wow. And then in class program, we have a main method. We are creating an object of our animal class, pig class, and dog class. And right, so we are creating an object of our animal class, pig class, and our dog class over here. Right, so three objects are being created: a animal class object, a pig class object, and a dog object. Right, so next over here, what we are doing, we are calling the animal sound method of my animal, we're calling the animal sound method of my pig, and then we're calling the animal sound method of my dog, right? So what is expected? We expect it to show the animal makes a sound, the pig says wee wee, and the dog says bow wow, right? Let's see what the result comes. This was not the output that was expected, right? So this is not an output that was expected. We expected the animal makes a sound, the pig says wee wee, and the dog says bow wow. But we are getting the animal makes a sound, the animal makes a sound, and the animal makes a sound, and we are getting some kind of warning. That's all right. So it is giving the warning just because we are trying to override and not able to. Let's see what was really happening. The output from the example above is not what we expected. That is because the base class method overrides the derived class method. Over here, if you had noticed, if I uncomment this, we are giving animal over here. So the base class method is overriding. So the base class method is overriding the derived class method. The derived class is not overriding the base class method. The base class method is overriding the derived class method over here. That's why we don't see the expected result. If we give pig over here, then it will work all fine. Pig and dog, right? Then it will work all fine because nowhere over here is specified about animal, and animal won't be able to, the base class won't be able to override what we. So what is happening over here? This is working, but how was it overriding when we were giving animal and animal? So basically what it was doing, it was typecasting pig and dog to an animal class. So when typecasting that, it saw a common method animal sound, and because it is typecasting the pig and dog objects to a animal object, because it is typecasting a pig and dog object to an animal object, that's why this animal sound was overriding the previous animal sound methods that were there in our pig and our dog, and it was overriding and saying the animal makes a sound just because it is typecasting from a pig and dog object to an animal object. So what can be the solution over here? Let's see. However, C# provides us with an option to override the base class method, right? By adding the virtual keyword to the method inside the base class, and by using the override keyword for each derived class methods. So over here, C# provides us, over here if you see, in the base class, the method that we wanted to override, to that method we specify a property that is virtual. And where we wanted to override, there we gave override, we specified the keyword override, right? So now the method will be overridden as expected. Now if you see, the method will be overridden as expected. Let's see. right? So the method is overridden as expected, and where we don't want it to override, right? We don't want to override, just remove the override keyword. Where you don't want to override, where you want to override, give the override keyword, right? So it depends on your needs. So now we have learned about polymorphism. Why and when should we use polymorphism? It is useful for code reusability as inheritance. Reuse fields and methods of an existing class when you create a new class. Now, how can we reuse? That also let's see. When we are overriding the method, right? For example, when you are overriding the method, there's the method, the things in the method you want, right? So the processes happening in the virtual method, right? So we'll say the virtual method which we are overriding. So the processes in the method which is being overridden, that you want to use, right? And you want to specify your own processes in the same method. So what you want to do, you want to have a method that will override the previous method, right? So that will so over here, what you want, you want a method that will override the previous method, but you want all the processes happening in that method come into your overriding method, right? And you want to run your own processes also in the overriding method. So instead of writing everything again and again, instead of writing literally everything again and again, what you can do, you can say, when you are inheriting from the um, base class, you can in any method call, say the base keyword, and then you can call whichever method, you can access any of its properties and methods. So we have said said base dot animal sound. What is a base? A base is animal, right? And its animal sound method we are calling, right? So we are calling its animal sound method. So all the processes happening in its animal sound method will come over here. So in this animal sound method, we were writing the animal makes a sound. So over here also, over here this process will come and write the animal makes a sound, and then it will write the pig says VV. So the result over, we are not doing the same thing in dog. So what will happen? First it will say the animal makes a sound, then we call my pig's animal sound. So over here we call base's animal sound. So in base's animal sound we were writing the animal makes a sound. So over here also it said the animal makes a sound, and then it said the pig says VV. Then when we call the animal sound of a dog, it says the dog says bow wow. So we'll get the dog says bow wow. So we'll say get the animal makes a sound, the animal makes a sound, the pig says VV, the dog says bow wow. So let's see. So we are getting an error, and that's over here. We didn't give a semicolon. Sorry about that, guys. It's running. Let's wait. Right, so the result is as expected, and this was it, guys, for inheritance and polymorphism. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you, guys. Bye. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching my videos. Damn.